For 8.6, we will be writing linear equations. Now that you understand what a linear equation is, you can write it with a few values given. If you know the slope, m, and the y-intercept, b, of the equation's graph, you can go ahead and write the equation in slope-intercept form or make it a linear equation. Using that formula, y equals mx plus b, you can put in the given values, the slope of 3, where the m should be, and you can give the -7 as the y-intercept would replace b. Now, our original form is y equals mx plus b, so you'll see I have it written like that in my first equation, my mx plus b, but we do not want to have two integer signs, so we're going to change it to y equals 3x minus 7. So when given the slope value and the y-intercept value, we simply plug those into the equation. Sometimes we are given a graph and we are asked to write the linear equation for the graph. The first thing we're going to do again is start at the beginning, or b, and find the y-intercept. So I find the y-intercept here, the black point of this line, and that is at 0, 3. The next thing is they have given me 2 points on the line, and those points are 4, 2, and our y-intercept 0, 3. I do not have a value for slope yet. I can find that value of slope by using the formula where I find the difference of the y's divided by the difference of the x's. I did it 2 different ways. The first one here, I started with 2 and I subtracted 3. Remember to stay with the y's. And then I divide that by 4, subtracting 0. In the other equation, or formula, I'm sorry, I went ahead and I took the y from the black point, 3, subtracted 2, 0, subtracted 4. In both equations, I will end up, because of integer rules, with the same answer. 2 minus 3 is a negative, and I get 1 over 4. And in the other one, I would have 3 minus 2. I get a positive 1 for my numerator, but I get a negative 4 for my denominator, making my slope a negative 1/4. Another way we can figure that is if they do not give us an extra point, we can go from our y-intercept and we could go ahead and we could count to go to the next point. So I could go down 1, that's my rise, that's a negative 1, and I run over 4, still giving me the slope of negative 1/4. So now I can go ahead and I can write that equation using the formula for y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to leave my y stay as y. That's going to equal my slope, which is negative 1/4. Leave x. And this time my y-intercept is a positive 3. So I can go ahead and say plus 3. We leave x and y as those variables because they can be any of the x and y coordinate points on this linear, or on this line. And remember, this line expands both ways. Now we're going to go back to what we know about parallel and perpendicular lines. We had this in the earlier lesson. To write an equation of a line that is parallel to the line y equals 4x minus 8. And they're also going to give us a point that line passes through, 0, 2. So it's going to be parallel to this line, but our new line is going to have this given point. What we need to do first is review about what we know about parallel or perpendicular lines. The slope of that line is going to be, because it is parallel, it's going to be the same. So it's going to be 4, or 4x. So the slope of the parallel line is the same. The parallel line passes through, they gave us a given point, 0, 2. So its y-intercept in the point 0, 2, 0 is x. I'm not going to move right or left at all. I'm going to only rise 2. So the y-intercept is going to be 2. Again, I have the same information as I did in the slide before. I have a slope and I have a y-intercept. So I plug those into slope-intercept form. Y equals 4x plus 2. Using those same rules, but this time we're going to talk about the perpendicular line. The line that we are given is y equals negative 5x plus 1. We're given a new point, 0, negative 9. Now we have to remember what we know about perpendicular lines. The slope of that line is negative 5, or negative 5x. So the slope of they should say perpendicular. The perpendicular line needs to be the negative reciprocal. Or another way to think of it, if those integers kind of still get you down, is an opposite reciprocal. Opposite is going to have the opposite sign, and reciprocal is going to be flipped. The negative reciprocal would be a positive, because this slope is negative, positive, and we're going to change that to 1/5, because 5 over 1 would change to the reciprocal of 1 over 5, or 1/5. And again, we have the parallel typed in here, and it should be perpendicular. I'll just copy that and change it here again. Oops. Well, that wasn't good. Let's try that one more time. Use my arrow keys this time. All right. So the perpendicular line passes through 0, negative 9. They gave me that information. Again, 0 is the x value. So the y value is negative 9. That's going to be my rise. I rise a negative 9, so I go down. Now I have the information I need to put into slope-intercept form. I replace my goodness, there's a lot of typos on this. I replace the slope with my 1/5, and that was a positive 1/5. So y equals 1/5 x minus 9.